This is E1, R1, E2, R2, E3, R3, E4, R4 up to ENR. This is EN, RN. If I were to replace this with one single battery, this will be N times E, N times R. No big deal. But suppose if you connect one of the batteries in the wrong direction, one of the batteries in the wrong direction. You see the polarity? Now if I were to replace this with one single battery, this will be enough. How much will be the EMF? N minus so bolo, are you people there?
Yes, sir.
N minus how much? You have N number of cells and one battery is wrongly connected with the reverse polarity.
N minus 2.
N minus 2. Because this will cancel out its neighboring EMF. Two of them will become 0. So it is N minus 2 EMF. But NR will be the same. Resistance doesn't have a polarity. It will always add up. Suppose I connect 2 wrongly. It is N minus 4. Right?
Yes, sir.
Take it down till here. Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Now this is called maximum power transfer theorem. Maximum power transfer theorem. When can I transfer maximum power to a resistor? Before that, first calculate the heat lost in a resistor. Work done by the battery should be equal to heat dissipated. There is no equipment to store energy. There is no equipment to store energy. So whatever is the work done by the battery is lost in the form of heat. VdQ should be lost in the form of heat. VD of what is current equal to dQ by dt. This will be I dt is the heat loss. V is equal to IR. I dt is the heat loss. So heat loss is I square R dt. Power dissipated is heat loss by dt. This is I square R. This is work done by the battery or heat dissipated through the resistor, because in circuit other than battery you have nothing else. Right? You have no equipment to store energy. So whatever is the work done by the battery is dissipated in the form of heat. Right? Now I want maximum power to be dissipated from this. Take it down till here and come to that.
Yes, sir, done.
Continuation in the same subtopic. You have an internal resistance of small. You have an internal resistance of small. Power dissipated through the resistance will be I square R. I will be E divided by R plus R whole square into R. Power dissipated through this should be I square R. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
I want the power to be maximum. What do I do? Differentiation of the power with respect to capital R or small r or capital R, either way. Equate it to 0. You have capital R in the numerator as well as denominator, U by V. Will you be able to differentiate?
Yes, sir.
Differentiate and tell me the answer. Condition for maximum power to be dissipated through R. Condition for maximum power dissipated through R. Condition for maximum power dissipated through R.
Sir,
Huh.
I'm getting R equal to capital R equal to small r or capital R equal to minus r.
Capital R equal to small r is the condition for maximum power transfer theorem. Whenever you want maximum power to be dissipated through it, that should be equal to the internal resistance of the cell or the internal resistances of whole of this combination. This is the condition for maximum power transfer theorem.
Sir, I didn't understand like how will it happen like physically, intuitive. Like
See, there is a compromise between the value of R. R comes in the numerator as well as denominator.
yes, sir.
So it is an adjustment between the two when both are equal. Suppose I decrease R, current will decrease, power will decrease. I increase R, right? Current will decrease. Or it's like playing with x into y. It depends on both x and y. A function depends on both x and y. Where will maxima come? Somewhere in between, right? That is the adjustment here. Well, this can be proved only mathematically. Physically, to explain that, I am not sure. But then there is a tricky way of asking questions on this.
Oh, sir, noted.
Can I have this?
Yes, sir.
Suppose I give you a battery of 100 volts, internal resistance of 10 ohms, and this is 20 ohms, this is R. I want to know condition for maximum power through this. Maximum power through capital. When is the maximum power through capital R? You can solve this as I square capital R 100 divided by 30 plus capital R whole square into R. Differentiate this dP by dr equal to 0. You will get R is equal to 30 ohm. Maximum power dissipated through this will be when this resistance is equal to the remaining all resistances. Consider this to be internal resistance of this. They both are in series. Net is 30. So differentiate that and see you will get R equal to 30. Right? Till here is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now suppose, where is the catch they play? They want to know for the same problem, find capital R for which maximum power is dissipated through 20 ohm resistance. Through 20 ohm resistance. Find capital R for which maximum power is dissipated through 20 ohm resistance. You know what will my answer be? 0. Put R is equal to 0. See, while you are calculating here, you had R here. You had R in the numerator and denominator. You were finding the condition for maximum power through this. So, you took certain value of R. But I want maximum power through this means, make this 0. Don't you think current will increase? Once a resistance value is fixed, power is equal to I square R. Once the resistance value is fixed, how will I have maximum power? Current should be maximum.
Yes.
Now I fixed the resistance. 20 ohm is fixed. When will I have maximum power? When current is maximum. When will current be maximum in the circuit? For capital R to be?
0.
Understood the catch in it?
Yes, sir.
See both the conditions carefully. Here you are asking maximum power through R itself. So R cannot be 0. You are asking maximum power through R. If you put R equal to 0, you are in soup. Right? You are asking maximum power through 20. Now 20 is fixed. I should be maximum. R should be 0. See both the conditions carefully and make a note of it. When you are asking me maximum power through R, that happens when R is equal to 20 plus 10. Consider 20 also to be a part of the internal resistance of the battery.
Yes, sir, noted.
Now, cells in parallel, cells in parallel. When you are speaking about cells in parallel, we have once again a strain controversy. Nobody ever observed this, and ironically, there is only one book which resolved this issue. NCI. There's only one book which resolved this issue, NCI. First of all, see what happens here. You want to replace whole of this with a single battery. So what they have done is they placed the resistance of capital R. If this gives you a current of I will be E equivalent by R plus R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. This I can replace whole of this with one E equivalent if I can find out I in this format. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
E equivalent by R equivalent. What is R equivalent? R plus R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. So now they applied KVL. This was small I, this was capital I minus small. Capital I minus small I, and I get back I. They applied KVL to which two loops? This loop and this loop. In the direction of current minus IR, in the direction of current I minus I into R2, negative terminal first E2 is equal to 0. Minus IR minus I into R2 plus E2 is equal to 0. Minus IR minus IR2 minus IR2 plus E2 is equal to 0. This is my first equation. So far, so good. Yes or no?
So which two loops? Can you number?
First, I took this loop. First, I took the lower loop with the resistance capital.
Okay, sir.
So you are touching the negative terminal first plus C2. In the direction of current minus IR. In the direction of current minus I into R. I simplified this here, that's all. Now I am supposed to apply for capital R in the upper loop. Capital R in the upper loop. You are touching the negative terminal first. E1 minus IR minus IR1 is equal to 0. Minus IR minus IR1 plus E1 is equal to 0. This is my second equation. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Now, what are you in search of? Capital. What should you eliminate? Small I. How do I eliminate small I? I will multiply the above equation with R1, 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 R1. This equation with R2. You know why we have done this. Subtract, minus, plus. This and this will go. Minus E1 R2. Did I do it correctly? I committed a mistake here. Have a look at it. This was minus of minus plus IR. Minus of minus is plus. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
So now I added both the equations. They both will get cancelled. E1 R2 plus E2 R1 is equal to I into R into R1 plus R2 plus R1R. So I will be even R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R into R1 plus R2 plus R1R. Divide the numerator and denominator by R1 plus R2. You get even R2 plus D2 R1 divided by R1 plus R2 by R plus R1 R2 by R1. This is my E equivalent. Are you trying to tell me if I were to replace these both with a single battery, it will be even R2 plus D2 R1 upon R1 plus R2? You are right. Standard derivation given in quite a few electrical technology textbooks. HCV also gave the same. JE also accepted it. 1997, they gave the same question with this polarity is reversed. If this polarity is reversed, all that you will do is even R2 minus E2 R1. Right?
Yes, sir.
What have you done? I can replace this with one single battery of E equivalent if I can find out I as something divided by this. So you applied KVL to this lower loop with R and the upper loop with R. Upper loop with R. Right? Agree?
Yes, sir.
Remaining is only simplification. Adjustment of simplification to get it in this form. So far, so good, yes or no?
Yes.
But there is a small issue here. Look at the small issue. Though in this derivation, I did not use anywhere that R1 and R2 are in parallel. But you started the derivation with the bias that R1 and R2 are in.
Parallel.
I have no reason to claim that R1 and R2 are in parallel. I can tell you potential difference across this and this is equal. How on earth can you tell me potential difference across this and this is equal? Is there any reason for you to believe I into R1 is equal to I minus I into R2? I have no reason to believe. Don't you think you started your derivation with a bias, though you didn't use your bias in the derivation? But you started it with that particular bias. Assuming R1 and R2 in parallel here is a myth. Do you all agree with this?
Yes, sir. I think.
But you are getting the correct answer with that. This is the right answer. Even R2 plus E2 R1 upon R1 plus R2, you are getting the correct answer. What do you want me to do? Only NCERT resolved this problem. It did the derivation without making this assumption. NCERT is a very properly written book. It didn't give an elaborate, proper description in quite a few things. It abridged it. But it's a very properly written book. Take this down and tell you what NCERT.
Yes, sir, noted.
What if the batteries were reversed? Before I go into what NCRT did, this is E1 R1, this is E2 R. Then E equivalent is equal to E1 R2 minus E2 R. 1 upon R1 plus R. Same thing with the reverse polarity. But then your final E equivalent will have which polarity? Your final E equivalent will have which polarity? Depending on whichever is greater. Don't tell me E1 greater than E2 or E2 greater than E1. It should be E1 R2 is greater than E2 R1. Then final battery will have the same polarity as that of E2. If E2 R1 is greater than E1 R2, then final battery will have the same polarity as E2. Is the logic clear? Don't tell me E1 greater than E2, I will have the final equivalent batteries EMF having the same polarity as E1. It's not E1 greater than E2 or E2 greater than E1. E1 R2, if it is greater than E2 R1, the equivalent battery will have the same polarity as E1. If E2 R1 is greater than E1 R2, equivalent battery will have the same polarity as E2. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Make a note of it. Now see what NCRT did to this. NCRT says two advantages of following NCRT's procedure here. Firstly, the controversy is avoided. You replaced this with E equivalent and R equivalent. This is E1, E2, R1, R. Now this will be current I, this should be I. This is I1, this is I2, this is A. Now this is A. VA, you are touching the positive terminal, minus EQ, right? Plus I into R equivalent is V. VA, you are touching the positive terminal, minus EQ, plus I into R. VAB is equal to E equivalent minus I into R, right? Now I will be equal to E equivalent by R equivalent minus VAB by R equivalent. This is my first equation. If I were to replace this with one single battery, right? Now apply KVL in this loop. See the moment of the marker. Apply KVL in this loop. See the moment of the marker. It's VA You are touching the positive terminal first. Minus E1 plus I1 R1 is V. Right? VAB is equal to E1 minus I1 R. I1 is VAB by R1. I1 is, E1 by R1 minus VAB by R. This is my second equation. Similarly, apply KVL to the lower loop. VA minus E2 plus I2R2 is V. VAB is equal to E2 minus I2R. I2 is equal to E2 by R2 minus VAB by R. Till here, is it clear to all? I calculated, I1 I calculated, I2 I calculated simply using Kirchhoff's current law and voltage law. Where did you use current law? I is equal to I1 plus I2. I is equal to I1 plus I2. You applied KVL from here till here. You applied KVL here. You applied KVL here. I'll substitute from here. Equivalent by R equivalent minus VAB by R equivalent. I1 and I2 when I add, I will add these two first. E2 by R2 plus E1 by R minus VAB into 1 by R1 plus 1 by R minus VAB into 1 by R1 plus 1 by R. Are you getting 1 by R equivalent as 1 by R1 plus 1 by R? I have made no assumption. You got that as a consequence. You have applied only Kirchhoff's voltage law along this branch, and this branch. You get 1 by R equivalent is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R. Equivalent by R equivalent, you will get E1 by R1 plus E2 by R. Substitute this R equivalent here, you will get E equivalent as E1 R2 plus E2 R1 upon R1 plus R. NCERT completely eliminated the controversy of making an assumption that R1 and R2 are in parallel. First point, do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Second, there is an advantage in NCERT's procedure. What is it? Suppose I have a third battery. E1 by R1 plus E2 plus R2 plus.
E3 by R3.
Suppose I have a 4 battery.
E4 by R3.
Up to En by Rn, n number of batteries in parallel. E equivalent by R equivalent is E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 plus E3 by R3 up to En by R. 1 by R equivalent is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 up to
N.
1 by Rn.
Yes.
So NCERT solved two problems for us here. One, making an assumption that these both are in parallel. The problem itself is eliminated. Second, what if I've got more than two batteries in parallel? This formula will come to your rescue in a much better way than anything else. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. So, sir, does that mean that whenever cells are connected in parallel, then their resistances will be in parallel also?
They turn out to be in parallel.
Okay. So that's a consequence, not an assumption.
Right. We used to follow the previous derivation for years. 2004, when I saw NCERT, they gave this procedure. I thought that they're just trying to show off an alternate procedure, which doesn't make much sense. The previous derivation was much easier. When you get accustomed to a derivation, change is not easy. So for me, this derivation didn't appeal at the first place. 2008, if I'm right, or 9. One student from that batch got hold of this point, sir. How did you assume R1 and R2 are in parallel? For long, he drilled my happiness off. Then I was sitting and thinking on it, and suddenly it stuck to me. NCERT may saw a different derivation. So then I opened NCERT. Generally, when we have a controversy, we go to the higher level books to see. We don't go down. It was a mistake. Then I referred to NCERT, and NCERT did not assume anywhere that R1 and R2 are in parallel. Take this down and have 5 minutes of a break. Only 5 minutes. My watch says it is 9:33, right? 9:40, right? I'll keep both the host and co-host connected. I'm not disconnecting either of the sources. It is a very short break, precise. Just relax. We have to continue with this topic. Can we continue?
Yes, sir.
No. Listen. This is not the proof of maximum power transfer theorem. It is an example of maximum power transfer theorem. Combination of cells. Combination of cells. You are given n number of cells. You have to arrange them in series and parallel such that maximum power is transferred through a particular resistor. N cells in series, M such type of rules. You are given fixed number of cells. That means M into N is fixed. You are given 100 cells, 200 cells, 300 cells, identical cells. Whatever the number may be. Right? Arrange them in series and parallel such that you have maximum power going through capital R. R is fixed. He didn't give you this as a variable. R is fixed. If R is fixed, maximum power will be when current is maximum through this. Do you agree with that? Are you people
Yes, sir.
there?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now you have n cells in series, so EMF across each will be NE. So what will be the current? NE divided by total resistance. N cells means NR. 1 by NR plus 1 by NR, so on and so forth, up to M such type of component will be M by NR. R equivalent will be NR by N. Are you convinced? R plus R plus R up to N will be NR resistance of each row. How many such type of rows have you got? N such type of rows. So 1 by NR plus 1 by NR plus 1 by NR up to N components. So N by NR, R equivalent is this. R plus NR by M is the current through this resistance. Is everybody clear till here? Nm into E, I took LCM in the denominator. Mr plus N. Nm into E. Look at what we do in the denominator. Root over of Mr minus root over of Nr whole square plus 2 root over of Mn capital R small. To play it with a small part of the simplification. Open up this and see if you are getting this or not.
Yes, sir, getting.
Why did you do this? Because total number of cells are constant. M into N is constant. M into N is constant. This is a constant. This is a constant. When will current be maximum? I will be maximum when MR is equal to NR or R is NR by N. R should be equal to the internal resistance of whole of this combination when maximum power is transferred through R. Wasn't that your maximum power transfer theorem?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? It is an example of maximum power transfer theorem. For a particular value of R, power will be maximum through it when its resistance is equal to the total internal resistance of the remaining part of the circuit. Now, here students say, why didn't you differentiate this? You can differentiate. Take M into N as some constant C. Take N into M as some total number of cells are fixed. So eliminate either N or M in terms of C. Differentiate that with respect, differentiate I with respect to the variable, either M or N, equate it to 0, you will get the same answer. You can do the simplification later on. Right now, take this down.
Yes, sir, noted.
How does these combination of cells help you solve the problems? Now, basically, in circuital analysis, you have learned how to apply Kirchhoff's law. You have learned how to apply nodal analysis. Yes or no? Now suppose there will be three possible ways of solving any of these circuits given. Let me take an example given by JEE people, only the thing that I don't remember the value. I take a battery this way, two ohms, 4 ohms, 2 volts, 4 volts, 4 volts, 2 ohms, 1 ohm, 2 ohm. I want the current through this resistance of 5 ohms. I have taken arbitrary numbers. Listen carefully. There are three possible ways of solving all these circuits. One, which is prescribed by the JEE people, is Kirchhoff's law. Start from one point. Never ever tell me this battery sends I1 current, this battery sends I2 current. Battery doesn't send current. Battery is neither a source nor a sink. It only maintains a potential difference. Start from one end. Take capital I here. Your direction may be wrong. Kirchhoff will take care of it. Capital I minus small I. Capital I minus small I. Small I comes here. I am getting back capital I. That I should consider. I am getting back capital I. Battery is neither a source nor a sink. Now you apply KVL to this loop. You apply KVL to this loop. Let me apply. This is 4 minus 4i. You are touching the negative terminal, plus 2 minus 2i minus 5i is 0 is my first equation. Second equation, you are going opposite to the direction of current here. 5i, 5 small I, in the direction of current, minus of I minus I into 2. Negative terminal first, plus 2. Positive terminal minus 4. Minus I minus I into 1 is 0. You are touching the negative terminal first, plus 2. Minus 4. Minus of I minus I into 1 is equal to 0. Two equations, two variables, your job will be done. The most orthodox way of solving. Procedure 1. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
This needs practice. It's not about learning. So keep practicing it once in a while. Any arbitrary circuit you see, keep applying Kirchhoff's law. Take it down till here. I will rub this and do the second procedure here itself. You don't need to do the simplification right now. You can bank on me. All three procedures will get the same answer.
Noted, sir.
Now, what is the second procedure in this? Have a look at this. These both cells are in series, but they are oppositely connected, right? 4 minus 2 is 2 volts. 3 ohms. This will be 5 ohms. lower branch 4 and 2 are 6 ohms. 4 and 2 is 6. These two cells are in series but oppositely connected. These two resistances are in series. These two cells are in series but with the same polarity, so I added them. Here I subtracted them. If two cells are kept this way, obviously I'll subtract the EMF. If two cells are kept this way, I'll add the EMF. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Now some students say I'll apply KVL and I'll finish it off. Not required. Have a look at it. This battery and this battery, are they in parallel combination or not?
Yes, sir. Two. Yes, sir.
E1 R2 plus E2 R1. E1 R2. 2 into 6 plus 6 into 3 divided by R1 plus R2. 6 plus 3. Both the polarities are the same. This is R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. 3 into 6 divided by 3 plus 6. This is 5 ohms. Can you find out the current in the 5 ohm resistance now? Say something.
Yes, sir.
Understood how to use the parallel batteries? Even R2 plus E2 R1 upon R1 plus R2. 2 into 6 plus 3 into 6 upon 3 plus 6. R equivalent is R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2.
So this is also there in JEE syllabus.
Yeah, this E1 R2 plus E2 R1 upon R1 plus R2 is JEE syllabus, combination of cells.
Okay, sir.
Third procedure will be nodal analysis. I'll take another example to explain nodal analysis. Same problem we do with different numbers would be better for practice. Can I rub the board?
Sir, don't rub the last circuit.
Okay. Take it. No.
Yes, sir. Done.
I'll take another example here. Just for a change, same numbers, it doesn't make sense. 4 ohms, 4 volts, 1 ohm, 2 ohms, and 2 ohms. This is 2 ohms. Right? Firstly, Kirchhoff's law. Start from anywhere. Don't tell me 4 volts battery is sending current. Nobody knows which is dominating what. But yet, if you are comfortable, start from here. This is capital I, this is small I, capital I minus small I. This is capital I minus small I. This will become capital I. KVL in this loop, KVL in this loop, I get the answer, but yet I'll apply, have a look at it. I'll go in anti-clockwise direction. 4 minus I into 1 minus 4I minus I is 0. Now apply KVL to this loop in the direction of current. 2 into I minus I. You are touching the negative terminal plus 2 minus 2 into I minus I is 0. Sorry, plus 4I. Plus 4I in the direction of current. Minus 2 into I minus I plus 2 minus 2 into I minus I plus 4I is equal to 0. This was application of Kirchhoff's law. What if I were to use E1 R2 plus E2 R1? I will redraw the circuit. Have a look. 1 and 1 are in series. This is 4 volts, 2 ohms. 2 and 2 are in series. This is 4 ohms. And I have got a 2-volt battery. Did I draw this correct? This 4 volts I kept the same way. 1 and 1 became 2, 2 and 2 became 4. Now how do I reduce it to one circuit? E1 R2 plus E2 R1. Polarities are the same, so nothing to worry. 4 into 4, 16 plus 2 into 2, 4 divided by R1 plus R2 is 6. This will be 4 into 2 by 6. This is 4 ohms. Can I find out the current in this particular branch?
Yes, sir.
Now here I will apply. I will have to make changes in the circuit. Take it down to here. I will remove this and I'll put nodal analysis. Kirchhoff's law, equivalent battery, and then nodal analysis.
Noted, sir.
Suppose I want to apply nodal analysis to this. Start from anywhere, start from here to be 0 volts. Right? What will the potential here be? 4 volts. Right? Take this to be V0. Take this to be V0. Have a look at it. This is 0. This will be 0 volts. Take this to be V0, 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 IR. I will take current in this to be I1, current in this to be I2, current in this to be I2. Agreed? Now, here you will have to play it slightly smart to make your life a bit simple. 2 and 2, are they in series, the resistances?
Yes, sir.
So remove this and make it 4 ohms. So that the purpose of solving this is served, right? And here if this is V0, this will be V0, this will be V0. Right? I can do the same thing here as well. Remove this and make this 2 ohms. Then I can actually take I1, I2 currents there. Life becomes much more simple. I took this to be 0. Then this will not be V0. This will be 4 volts. This will be 4 volts. This will be 4 volts. What will this be? 6 volts. This was 0. This is 0. I take this to be V0. Now have a look. Assume directions of current. You may assume any particular direction. I am assuming I1 current coming this way, I2 current going into this, I3 current going into this. So I1 is equal to I3 plus I2. I1 is equal to I3 plus I2. What will I1 current be? 6 minus V0 divided by 4. What will I3 current be? V0 minus 4 divided by 4. V0 minus 4 divided by 4. Plus, what is I2 current? V0 minus 0 divided by 2. You have only one variable V0 and you have one equation. Once you get V0, finding out the current I3 will not be difficult for you.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Huh.
If there is a complicated circuit given and there are many nodes, so which nodes should we give V node?
Any node जिसका potential हमें पता नहीं. Any node. Here I am getting only one equation because you are always taking 2 loops. If you have a third loop, you will have 2 equations. V0, V0 dash भी लेना पड़ेगा इनको. Right? For instance, if this resistance was here, I would have taken a different voltage here and here.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
I would have bought in a new variable. So because the resistances are in series, I eliminated that. Suppose there is a third loop. जहां पर भी नोड का वोल्टेज हमें पता नहीं, we don't know the voltage of a particular node, you have to assign a variable called V0 or V0 dash or V1 or V2.
Yes, so as many nodes, then that many equations.
So many equations you should. Somebody is writing, can you repeat the second method? By the way, what was the second method? E1 R2 plus E2 R1?
Equivalent battery.
Equivalent battery. I rubbed it here. But we can do it. Have a look. E1 R2 plus V2 R1 upon R1 plus R. Have a look at this. You have 4 volts battery, you have 4, Did I take the polarity wrong in the previous case? Positive plate is connected to the lower, here positive plate is connected. In the second method that I have done, by any chance did I take the wrong polarity for the battery?
No, sir. It's correct.
So in what we did previously, I think the 2 volts battery, the polarity was reversed.
So here while copying the question, I took it wrong, or in solving that I took it wrong. While solving itself, I might have taken it wrong. So the second procedure, make the rectification. 2 volts battery, I think, if I keep it here, positive will be above. Here, 4 volts battery, positive will be below. Now here, it will not be even R2 plus E2R1. It will be even R2 minus E2R1. By the way, which is greater? 4 into 4 is 16. 2 into 2 is 4. So this is dominating. So I'll have this battery this way. Second procedure, if I have taken the wrong polarity, please rectify. 4 into 4 is 16 minus 4. 16 minus 4 divided by 4 plus 2. Here it will be 2 into 4 divided by 2 plus 4. This is 4 ohms. You will get the current in this direction. Please have a look at your notes. If I have taken the wrong polarity for the 2 volts battery in the second procedure, please rectify that. There will be some problems where nodal analysis alone will come to give your result. Tell me when you're done with this, I need to rub the board.
Yes, sir, noted.
For example, have a look at this problem. Here, nodal analysis alone will come to your rescue. You want A and B. This is 1 volt, 1 volt, 1 volt, 1. 1 volt, 1. This is 1 ohm, 1 ohm, 1 ohm, 1. This is 1 ohm. Your requirement is VA minus V. Here you apply KVL, you will be left with 4 equations and 4 variables, not at all suggested. Solving using nodal analysis. Now here you will know how many V's you have to assume and how easy it becomes. I will take this as VB is equal to 0. I will take this as V0. What will this potential be? Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir, touching the negative terminal, sir.
This is 1 volt. Here it will be V0 plus 2. This is 2 volt. Here it will be V0 plus 3. This will be 3 volt. This will be V0 plus 4. This will be 4 volt. Now watch out for this. I will take I current in this. All this I1, all this I2. How much is I1 equal to? V0 minus 0 by 1. How much is I2 equal to? V0 minus 1 by 1. V0 minus 1 by 1 is I2. V0 minus 0 by 1 is I1. Right? This is I1. Have a look at it. Potential difference across this is V0. Across this is also V0. This minus this. Resistance is the same, so I can call it I1. Potential difference across this is V0 minus 1. Across this is also V0 minus 1. Resistance is the same. Can I call it I2? Say something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is I1, this is I2, this is I1, this is I2. So if I1 current comes here, what is the current here? This I1, I2, I1 will come here. So the current here is 2I1 plus I2. What is the current here? 3I1 plus 2I2. Because here this and this will add up, I1 and I2 will add up to this. Now what is the current here? These both will add up. This will be 4I1 plus 3I2. What will be the current in this branch? I2 L1 will add up here. 4I1 plus 3I2. Agreed? 4I1 plus 3I2.
Yes, sir.
You have been adding up the currents from here. Systematically, you added all these currents.
It should be 5.
Outgoing current. Do one thing here. So this is the incoming current plus I2. So what will this be? 4I1. Okay, write it down here, no issue. 4I1 plus 4I2. 4I1 plus 4I2 should be equal to 4 minus of V0 plus 4 divided by 1. I1 and I2 I'll substitute from here. One equation and one variable. Will I be able to solve this? This problem in nodal analysis is the safest bet. Once you're done with this, let me know. You will solve one problem on your own.
Yes, madam.
Question number 5. Are you able to see that? Question
Yes, madam.
number 5.
Sir,
Yeah.
if the batteries have
The batteries are
internal resistances, then how will we use, if the batteries have resistance, like an internal resistance, then how will we use nodal analysis?
you will place the resistance in series to that battery. You will place the, for example, diagram that you are seeing 10 volts batteries, internal resistance is 5 ohms. 5 volts battery internal resistance is 10 ohms.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Solve this problem assuming those resistances to be internal resistance of the battery only. Your job will be done. I will solve using nodal analysis for this problem. Easier way would have been E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 minus E3 by R3 plus E4 by R4 is E equivalent by R equivalent. As far as this problem is concerned. But I'll solve using nodal analysis so that your doubt is clear. Can I stop the screen share?
Yes, you can.
Now listen. You have a 10-volt battery, 5-volt battery here, 20-volt battery, 5 ohms, and this is 10 ohms. That's a 30-volt battery and 11 ohms. And here you have 25 volts battery. He wants the current through the 25 volt cell. Right? Hope I have taken the polarities correct. This is 5 ohms. Positive, upper plate is negative, upper plate is positive, lower plate is, upper plate is negative, upper plate is positive. Now have a look at it. You'll start from here, you take this to be 0. 0, 0, 0, 0. This will be 25 volts, 25, 25, 25, 25. If this is 25, what will be the potential here? 55.
Yes, sir. 55.
If this is 25, what will be the potential here?
5.
5 volts.
30.
30 volts. This
15.
is 15 volts. So what will be the current in this branch? 15 minus 0 by 5 plus current in this branch 30 minus 0 by 10. 5 minus 0 by 5. 55 minus 0 by 11 should be the total current going through 25 volts battery. Right? Now, I think he didn't ask current through the 25 volts battery. He asked current through this.
Yes,
Right? He asked current through the 25 volts battery. No. Current through 25 volt cell. Right. This is the current through the 25 volt cell. And the power supplied by 20 volt cell. 20 volt cell means this. That means VI. The power here will be VI. You know what is the current in this branch? This is the current into 20. I'll get the power supplied by this particular battery.
yes, sir.
He is asking for current through this and the power delivered by this. Power delivered by this is VI.
Can you write the equivalent battery का formula? And then
Equivalent battery ka formula, have a look at it. This will be, I'll take the upper plate to be positive. 10 by 5 minus 5 by 10 plus 20 by 5 minus 30 by 11 will be equal to equivalent by R equivalent. 1 by 5 plus 1 by 10 plus 1 by 5 plus 1 by 11 is 1 by R equivalent. Substitute R equivalent here, you will get equivalent. You can replace whole of this with. If you get positive, then see this you took positive. So if you get the final result positive, this will be the polarity. Equivalent by R equivalent. This is 25 volts. This will be equivalent. This will be R equivalent. But this procedure will be convenient for you if he is asking only for the current through the 25 ohms volt, 25 volts battery. When he is asking you the power through this, Finding out current in this branch becomes essential. Their nodal analysis alone will come to the result.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, noted.
One, have 5 minutes of a break. 10:32. Say 10:35. 10:40 will continue again. Host, co-host will remain connected. Right?
Okay, sir.
We have to start a new subtopic after the break.